This is Flower of Life podcast. I'm Carmen Fernandez, and today I have with me Stefan Chladek. Stefan grew up in Germany from a family of chefs. His mother and his sister were professional chefs, and Stefan became chef in 1998. Since then, he has worked as a chef in different countries and has been in charge of kitchens from 7-star hotels to refugee camps. Always curious about life and expanding his mind, Stefan and I have two things in common: our love for food and health as one of our highest values. Stefan, welcome to Flower of Life podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here. Thank you, Carmen.
Now we are in this COVID-19 situation. Everybody is talking about viruses, and we have forgotten that there are thousands of people dying and suffering from lots of diseases such as cardiovascular disease, cancer, respiratory disease, hunger. Why do you think, Stefan, there are so many people getting sick and suffering from chronic diseases?
For me, it is basically what more or less all sickness goes down to is like your body is out of balance and your immune system is down and your body is not able to fight the toxins we have in our body. And so there's basically no defense, and people not putting enough of the right stuff in their body, and are really, I think in most cases, are uneducated about which toxins are in the body and how actually to come back in balance, because I strongly believe that our body is designed to heal itself, but what we can do and what we must do is support it, so our body can basically heal itself and self-regulate. And if our body doesn't get the right nutrition and to basically be back in balance, it does not have the energy to come back to the level of health. And I think that is one of the main reasons. And it's very difficult to pinpoint exactly what it is, because it is so many factors which come into play when you, or how the body deals with the toxicity issue. It is what put you in your body, what comes out of the body. It is rest, it is exercise, it is thoughts, and it's a thing you say. So I think people are just a bit unaware that their body is out of balance, or sometimes I have a feeling it's kind of the new normal when people are stressed, and because I think, oh, everybody is stressed, and if you're not stressed, maybe I do something wrong because I'm not stressed. Or for a lot of people, it's normal these days to take a painkiller a day, and for me that is not normal, or it's not healthy, and I think, yeah, it's just a bit educational thing on how to support our body to stay in balance. And when the body is out of balance, it has no energy to come back on the healthy level.
And how did you bring your body in balance?
So most of people, they have a nutrition deficiency. And another thing is basically that goes down to what you eat. And another thing is the toxins in our body. And it's not only the toxins we eat, yes, as well, but it's, for example, images. Images basically we see on the TV and books and magazines. Most of the time, they're very negative, and they're, they're, they make you, or you see them, and then you may speak about with your colleagues about them, and that gives you a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And this feeling, or you think about it, and then you have thoughts, and these thoughts give you a feeling, even if it's subconsciously. You you put your body under stress,
Mm-hmm.
because you have this negative thought and feelings, and our body is able to, or our body is producing chemicals, as I said, and when you stress, you send out more stress chemicals in your body, and it's kind of a toxin as well. Another one is, for example, when we, depends where you live. Obviously, in cities you have the pollution in the air, but even air fresheners, for example, if you have air fresheners at home, um, that is it's toxic. It's toxic stuff, and it even tells you how toxic it is when you read the label. Most of them, they have like warning signs, and I mean, you wouldn't consider drinking it, but you you still breathe it in, and you're still breathing in particles of the toxin. And the same thing is with sounds. Yeah, sounds are frequencies, they are vibration, and if you for a moment when you're really still, and you really listen, then you will find out that the majority of sounds are unnatural sounds. May it be the dishwasher, the hum of the air conditioning unit, the fridge, whatever it is, honking horns. And these are very, or I mean, this vibration goes into your body, and just think about how powerful this vibration can be. Think about the opera singer who can shatter a crystal glass just with the vibration of the voice. And that's another factor which comes in. Then the stuff you put on your skin, like cream, perfume, underarm spray, these are basically what you eat, of course. And this is all a combination. So it's really difficult to pinpoint to one exactly one. It's all depending on the situation the individual is in, and that is basically. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
all these factors have the potential to bring the body out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and
And what can we do about all these toxins that all are around us?
so I think the first thing and the best thing to do is to find out what these toxins are, or what toxins I'm surrounded by, and then to cut them down as much as possible. And when when it's food, it is very easy, because you really need to look on the food, what we eat and what's inside, and you always should try to eat food as close to nature as possible, because it's most of our food today, it's been filled with preservative additives and chemicals, which put just a strain on the body. And another thing is like what you mentioned, I think earlier, like electromagnetic waves, frequencies, like from computer, wireless LAN, Bluetooth. There are things you can buy, like they're called EMFs, like they neutralize these waves and these frequencies. I mean, they don't eliminate them because your cell phone will still work, but they have the ability to neutralize them, and even you can get them for the whole house. And yeah, another thing, when it comes to what you put on your skin, I would suggest, if you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. And there's enough things outside. For example, I use like almond or coconut oil to moisturize my skin, and you know, there is stuff out there where you can at least reduce it. I mean, we can't be perfect, and another thing I always want to make clear is, like, I'm not a fanatic, but you have to care, and I think it's really important, especially nowadays, because our world changed a lot, and if you just look the last 80 to 100 years, it's been amazing, and our world changed, but our body is more or less the same what it was a couple of thousand years ago. So so you have to adapt with it.
From your experience as a chef, working in different countries and environments, how the food production has changed?
Production has changed because it's in the end of the day, Carmen, it's all about the money, and you really have to consider this. The farmers, they are being more or less really pressurized to produce as much as possible at the shortest time as possible, and obviously they want to gain the most out of their harvest. So in conventionally grown produce, there is lots of chemicals involved, like even, for example, a potato, before the potato goes in the earth, it's chemical on, so it's not eaten by bugs. Then the earth, the soil it goes in, it's already fertilized, and then soon, even before it comes out, there's another layer of pesticides. Yeah. Then when the plant actually comes out, there's another. There come more pesticides on, and there come herbicides on to make sure the soil doesn't, there's not growing any weeds in it, and it goes on. When you take the potato out, another chemical comes on to storage, to storage it longer, and then you have this potato which is already loaded with a lot of chemicals, and then depends what you make out of it. It's even processed further. Like, for example, if you make French fries out of it, or croquettes, it's processed further, and basically in all this process, the nutritional value, it's almost is bankrupt. It's nothing in there anymore, and then because of the chemicals, it's for your body even more difficult, the less nutritional value what's left to actually absorb in your body. So you basically screwed. Our food is like have not enough nutritional value, and the little nutritional value what it's in, it's not been absorbed from our body properly because of the chemicals. For example, an apple like 30 to 50 years ago, it's been estimated has 4 to 5 times the nutritional value than today. And even with organic apple, still it's maybe a bit less, 3 times, but still. So our grandma, when she used to eat 1 apple, we have to eat like 4 to get the same nutritional value from it. And in the earlier days, there haven't been so much fertilizers and pesticides on them than nowadays. And that is basically an important point, because if the body doesn't have the right nutrients, it's hard for the body to function right and to do its jobs. And our body is detoxing itself. We have the liver and kidneys who do that. But if they're not being supported with the right stuff, it's very difficult to flush it out. And and obviously, I mean, very important is your thinking as well. Does have an influence on it as well? And basically, you have to reduce the toxin and take a lot of nutrients. What I suggest to do is basically, I recommend juicing. The best is obviously organic vegetables, and you don't even need to go so crazy about it. Just do what you feel like.
Yeah.
Main thing is it's fresh and it's organic, and not cooked or other things. I don't use canned food or canned fruits. You have to use fresh fruit, and I can promise you, if you do nothing else and you just juice every day, have like, I don't know, not even a pint, like 300 milliliters of freshly squeezed juice, and play around a bit with the fruit and veg. You can put spinach, kale, it's very good, Swiss chard, green leafy stuff, put it within. And I promise you, after maybe 2-3 weeks of doing this constantly, you will see a difference. You will feel more alert. You will feel more vibrant, and you're more reactive. Your skin will look better, and but doing nothing else. You don't need to change anything else. Like, even if you like to go to McDonald's, continue this. Just adding fresh fruits and vegetables to your diet, you will see an improvement.
Oh, nice. Thank you for the advice.
Yeah.
And people are talking a lot about calories and macronutrients. Like, what is the difference between eating a cupcake that is 280 calories and a yogurt with granola and berries, and that is also 280 calories? What is the difference?
For me, in my opinion, it's the main thing is the ingredients which are used. It's how are they processed and where they're coming from. Another thing is maybe the thermic effect of food. I don't know if I pronounce it right in English. Basically, what it is, you have some food when you eat. Oh, my cat is here. When you eat and when it digesting, because when you digest, your body uses calorie. It uses energy to digest. And that differs from food to food. Let's say you have an apple,
Yes.
100-calorie apple. When you eat that, and the calories you're burning because of the fiber, it's around, I think it's around 15 or 20%. So it means even the apple have 100 calories, you're only getting 80 to 85 because your body need to digest the food and the fiber. On the other hand, if you have a chocolate bar with 100 calorie and you eat it, this is the thermic effect, I think it's called. As a chocolate bar, the thermic effect is only 4 to 5%. So from this 100 calorie of a chocolate bar, and you digesting it, you only burn with the digesting of 4 or 5 calories. So at the end, you have still the 96 calories, basically what you take in. And if you, it might seem small now, but if you add this up to all the food you eat, it's a lot. And then another thing is basically, what apple is it? And where's it grown? How has it been treated? I mean, okay, that is more about the toxins, but less about the calorie. And obviously you the processed food and the calorie in processed food and unnatural food, it's, how can I say, your body, it is not so beneficial, or your body don't get as much out of it. And whereby other foods, the stuff what is in there is much more complex from nature, and it's much more, your body can basically have a higher value from it.
Like there is more nutritional value in the yogurt with granola and berries than in the cupcake, and more antioxidants.
Yeah, that as well. I mean, it all depends on the ingredients. I mean, you can have a yogurt which is a cheap make, which comes from which is made from milk, which cow never saw the field, never moved out of their stable, is being sick, pumped with antibiotics and growth hormones, and even if it's a yogurt, it's an unnatural product, because, and that is what people have to understand. They might think yogurt is healthy, but yogurt is not yogurt. It really depends where it's coming from, and it's the same thing with the milk, and it's the same thing with everything actually. And I mean, look at the ingredients. Some yogurt, they're filled with sugar. And this kind of sugar, that's refined sugar, which is a completely unnatural product. So it's very difficult to say this yogurt is better than a cupcake. I mean, not difficult, but you really need to go deeper in detail, and that is what I try to actually to make the people realize, that you really need to look in the detail today, because we are just overwhelmed with products, and not all of them are so nice like they say on the advertising space.
You started your business about how to increase awareness on what we eat and what What advice would you give to people who want to eat healthy and they don't know what is healthy and what is not healthy because of the food production and the food industry? Sometimes people find difficult to read labels.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have in the label for marketing purposes that something is healthy, but we don't know if it's healthy or not. What advice can you give to people who want to really implement more healthy habits and want to know what to eat?
So basically, the bottom line is, I think Jack LaLanne said it. It was a really healthy guy. He became 96. He said it best. He said, "If man made it, don't eat it."
Mm-hmm.
That is basically the bottom line here. And I know we are stressed and we don't have time. And it's very difficult nowadays. But try to eat as close to nature as possible. Try to, obviously, a fresh fruit is better than the canned fruit. Yeah, and try to cook, to do things yourself. Definitely go for juicing, because that's even what I mentioned earlier. The nutritional value is not as high anymore as it used to be, and you should, but you can balance it out with juicing, because then you still get the essence and of the fruit and the energy of the fruit in a very compact form. But it's still important to eat whole fruits as well, because you need the fiber, and because it's doing an important role when digesting. Yeah, and now I lost. I wanted to say one more thing. Yeah, the I lost. Maybe I find it later.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, don't go to fast food restaurant. And that don't go fast food restaurant and any chain restaurant, because most of the produce is just it's unnatural stuff, and a lot of chefs nowadays they don't know how to cook anymore, and I saw that more and more in recent years when we got new chefs there, because they've never been told, they've never been taught.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're trained was they're trained how to open a package, but they're not actually trained in the real skill and real cooking from scratch. And yeah, just try to avoid processed food, fast food, chain restaurants, and try to buy organic produce as much as you can. But I mean, fresh is already good, even if it's conventionally grown fruit and veg is already better than any process there. Mm-hmm. And cook, even first of all, cooking is two things what comes into cooking. First of all, when you cook, it can be really relaxing for yourself. Mm-hmm. Because you switch off and you focus on your food and you focus what you do, and your mind stops a bit. And the other thing is actually, when you cook for people you love, you can actually the vibration of the electron from the food actually mm-hmm. can vibrate in a different direction. And there's a very good movie. This is even scientists say that that is possible. The movie is called "What the Bleep Do We Know," mm-hmm. and it's like a documentary movie kind of thing, and in one experiment there's this one guy who is basically making photographs of crystal of the water crystals. And these some of these water crystals has been shoot with an X-ray, with a radio wave, and some of them are being sent love from a human, sent love, and some been sent hate from a human. And all these things change the crystallization of the water. It's very interesting. So you're actually, and as you know, our body is like 75% water, and the food is not different. It's the same thing here. So that's why make sure you know what's in it, and I know, and I say it again, you know, don't get. We can't be perfect. I'm not perfect, and but do the best you can. Do the best you can, and you will see a difference. And there's so many things, like don't use air fresheners. Look what you put on your skin, and all this combination, you will feel better. You will feel better in your body, and that's for me very important, because basically our body is a vehicle, right? We are not our body. We have a body, and you want to make sure your body is doing well. It's like a racing car. When you go to a race, you check your car before. You make sure you have the right oil. You have nice tires on. The engine is running very powerful, and you check all the things. And our body is basically the same. And you need to look after your body.
So you think that when you cook, you send that energy to your food, and that makes an effect and impacts your.
Yeah. Absolutely. It can change the vibration of the electron. And in the end of the day, everything is energy. Yeah, and science has been saying that for years. If you magnify an atom, and you go down, you magnify it even more, then you come to an electron. And if you even go further down, at the end is nothing there. It's just vibrating at a certain frequency, and and your thoughts are frequency. You know, we can measure thoughts, right? The doctors, they measure thoughts. Every thought has a different frequency. So, and it goes. You send the vibration out with your brain.
You have two kids, right?
Yeah.
How old are they?
They are 8 and 5.
8 and 5. I have friends with kids. I don't have kids, but my friends who have kids, they're always telling me how difficult it is to make them eat vegetables. What advice can you give for parents who want to make their kids eat more healthy?
How old are the kids from your friend? How old are the kids from your friend?
Well, different. I have friends with different. We have kids like as between 3 to 10.
Okay. Basically, the best thing is what you can do. You need to right from the start. You need to get go. Even if you mush them fruit and veg up, and when they're older, it's more difficult. But when you need to give them tough love, and if they eat fine, then the next chance is by breakfast. I tell my boys, listen, now it's dinner. It's roughly half an hour. They have to sit on a table, and if they don't eat, fine. After, you get nothing, and after 3 or 4 days they will eat. And I know some parents might be, oh, you can't be so cruel, but no, it's a good thing for a child. And it's a bit like sleep training. When you sleep train a child, the first time it lies in its own bed, like the first 3 or 4 days, it will get out, it's screaming, it's, you know, but you need to be stern. You need to, and you need to be consistent. But it's very important, because the child gets confused. The child gets confused when you say one day, oh, let it go, or here I do you something extra, and then the next day you don't do it. Then the child's confused, because it thinks, hey, I got it yesterday. Well, why don't you give it me today? So you need to be, yeah, it's tough love, and so long as they drink, I mean, they're not going to starve to death, even if they don't eat a day. You need to be stern and consistent, and they will.
And cook. I think that makes a big difference as well. How you cook the food, right? If you cook the vegetables that are tasty and nice, and
even you can put a smiley face, like from, I don't know, a broccoli and a pepper. You can make a smiley face. You can make it fun a bit, or you know, it's possible. But yeah, the best is when you start from the beginning, because then this issue won't happen. But if they're already a bit older, you just need to expose them again and again and again, and they will eat.
What would you like? How would you like the world to change in the future?
That's a very good question. I want the people to realize that we need each other. We need to work together. And in the end of the day, what you want is what I want, you know. And in the end of the day, we want to feel secure. We want to feel happy. We want to be treated with respect. And it's really saddens me sometimes, because especially we in Europe, we live like kings here. We get everything. You go somewhere and you get so much selection, and now it's become a curse and a blessing at the same time. But when I see them, some people get angry. For example, the bloody Amazon delivery is 2 days late, or somebody jumped in front of them in the queue on the cashier, and people get angry about that and start to argue and being really nasty to each other. I think this definitely has to change, because we can't go on like this. We are one species, and we need to look out for each other, and we can't thinking that we all separate.
And what healthy habits do you have that make a difference in your life?
Okay, what healthy habits? I try to avoid to buy in the supermarket. Either go to farmer's market or to the farmer directly, but I still go to supermarket, because I buy to 100% only organic food. I don't go to chain restaurants. I definitely don't go to fast food restaurants. I have a morning routine with some breathing and some meditation, which it's really good to start the day. I do juicing. I have almost every morning a large glass of water with a lemon inside, first thing. And I exercise. I could do a bit more exercise though, but I know I eat very healthy, and I just being aware what do I put in my body, I mean, that is actually the magic, because your body is doing it yourself. If you give them the freedom and the right nutrients, your body will come back in balance. And one thing I want to mention actually as well is I don't take vitamins and minerals. And there as well, you have two kinds. Like you have this synthetic stuff, which is you can buy them very cheaply, like you dissolve them in water. But you have as well, there are whole food supplements that are basically little capsules. They are made from food, from real food. And sometimes I use these as well, but they're organic, and basically they're made from real food. They're not. It's not a synthetic mineral.
And you have always been like this? Like, have you always been like eating healthy and having like healthy lifestyles, or something happened in your life that made you change your habits?
Yeah, I as a chef, when I was in proper kitchen, I was actually very unhealthy. I was eating very unhealthy. I think most chefs can confirm that, because you work long hours, you eat very not regularly and not the size, and after work sometimes you eat junk as well. Because you don't want to cook anymore. So you've been cooking the whole day, and when you come home after a shift, as a chef, you don't cook at home for yourself. So, but what actually made my main motivation is because I think the evidence doesn't support the story anymore. And what I mean by that is, we have so many associations and companies who research in so-called healthier food, pharmaceutical drugs, and tell us that it's healthy. But yet, the people getting more obese, more people getting cancer than ever, more people getting diabetes than ever, and something doesn't add up here. But yet more and more money and millions go in these so-called associations, but yet we as humans getting sicker and fatter and than ever. Then another thing is, I was shopping once, and I really, when I go shopping and standing in queue for the cashier, I really like to check out other people's shopping baskets. Particularly shopping baskets from small families with kids. And sometimes I really feel sorry for the kids. And then I think, hold on, you as a parent, you want the best for your kids. And I saw that this stuff that was in the shopping basket 100 times was 80% is crap. That's absolute crap. But these parents are not bad parents. They mean well for the child, but they don't know. They don't know and I think there's a big educational lag on. I think they might know how to eat healthy, but I don't think they know how harmful our food actually is, and for us. And And like I said in the beginning, it's not only the food, so it's a combination of all the stuff what we've been exposed today than our grandparents was.
It comes to imbalances in the body for different
Yeah.
of factors.
Exactly.
And what is the legacy that you want to leave for your kids and the world?
I mean, my kids, I give them everything I got. The way how basically, I try to teach them values and obviously about the food today and how important is thinking, and that is what I do for my kids. And it's a legacy, I guess. It's with the company I want to build up. I basically want to raise the awareness of the body, because if your body feels good, you feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's much easier for you to feel good when your body feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So that is kind of the first step to take to feel happier and live happier.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easier to feel good in a healthier body than to feel good when you're always complaining or always having headaches or always having that. Even though not impossible, but it's much easier. Mm-hmm. And when you have this base, a good body, you feel happier, and the whole environment will change for you, and you will basically become, or the outer world will reflect your inner feeling, and that is basically my aim to make the people aware so they can feel happier in the body and be less sick and not scared when the next flu season is coming.
Mm-hmm. Changing the world by the way you eat, something like that.
Yeah. Or basically reducing the toxin and keep your body in balance and support your body what it's designed to do.
Mm-hmm.
That would be very good, I guess.
One final message that you for our listeners.
Guys, just see your body as your partner. Don't see it as a servant. Treat it well and look after your body, and your body will look after you.
Thanks, Stefan.
Yeah,
how
right.
People can find you?
I got a website. It's www.thisworkswithin.com, and my name is Stefan Chladek on Facebook and Instagram. I'll be fine. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you for being my guest today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Interesting conversation. And
I think so too.
If you go to Stefan's website, thisworkswithin.com, register for his 3 free video series, and follow him on Facebook and Instagram for motivational and informative messages that will motivate you and inspire you to live a healthy lifestyle, and to get more information about food, the food industry, and what we should eat to enjoy a vibrant and healthy body and mind. Talk to you soon in the next episode of Flower Podcast, and see you next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye.